Thanks for joining us again today. The topic before us this evening is personal branding and why finding your authentic self is so important to your career. You know, we are in a crowded world, so it's important that we all find a voice in the crowded world. We must craft a kind of niche for ourselves. We must find the relevance for ourselves. So I will be taking us through this journey, and I want us to pay careful attention that I will be saying this evening, because it's going to be beneficial to our career, and it's also going to be the same knowledge can be deployed to our business for as many of us that are entrepreneurs here. So let's dive into it. So now the agenda for tonight is we are considering personal branding. So the first thing we are going to be talking about is what is personal branding. Then we move on to why is it important? Why is personal branding important? Why must I brand myself as a person? So now the third point is how do you leverage your personal brand? Then creating your personal brand, implementing your personal brand. Then also we have the personal branding toolkit. So now what's the tool that gives you that personality out there, that represents you out there, that will make people to connect to your person. So now, and those are taglines, personality, image or logo, then tone of voice. So now, before we start, so I also want to tell us the goal of this meeting. If you look at this, the image on the, is it on the left, that multicolored image? If you look at it very carefully, what can you see, please? What can you see? How can you divide that guy? Hello? Unmute your mic and talk, please. What can you say about that image? No, the one on, yeah, that's true. That the other one, what can you say about that guy?
He's confused.
Confused, okay. Different color. So it's difficult to say this is the color that this guy is wearing. You understand? So now looking at it now, you can say, okay, it's red, it's purple, it's yellow, it's blue, all in one person. But if you look at the other side, you see that there is a particular color that stood out from all the other umbrellas there. And that is what we want to achieve. So in the crowded marketplace, in your niche, in your career, there is a purpose for you to serve there. There is a purpose you are meant to fulfill there. You are not just there just to do what the environment brings to you. You are meant to determine what you want to get out of the environment. So, and that is what we are considering. So the goal is to move us from a confused state to a level of clarity. So now where we have an understanding of who we are, and the kind of society we want to impact. So now we have one activities here. So now, do you know the brand of this set of people? I think we are familiar with this set of people. I don't know. How many of these people are you familiar with? Please, I want chorus answer, please. How many of these people are you familiar with? Okay. It's only Florence that is talking. I want to hear other people's
three of them. About three.
Okay.
Elon Musk, Dangote, and this Mr. Macaroni.
Mr. Macaroni. So now when you look at Mr. Macaroni, you know that something is unique about him, right? And that is his own kind of style. That is his image. And if you look at it, he's been consistent with this kind of image over time. He has not changed that dress. He has not changed that look. Because he doesn't want to look like another person. He wants to just be Mr. Macaroni. And that is why it is important that we brand ourselves, so that you don't confuse Mr. Macaroni to be another person. You understand? Mr. Macaroni understands the importance of personal branding. And that is why he has sticked to this kind of image. So now look at Dangote too. We have a lot of brand under Dangote. You have Elon Musk. If you are going to talk about the richest person in the world today, you are going to talk about Elon Musk. If we are also going to talk about what is it called now, Aliko Dangote, you also think of somebody, the richest person in Africa, right? Then if you look at that Salem King as well, if you have been following me very well, when it comes to video creative, it's very, very unique. is
I
very,
fully
very unique. The way, yeah, the way it communicates his value, the way it delivers his value to his followers is top notch. And if you look at this young man, Emmanuel Nduka, is one of the top voice on LinkedIn. If you look at him very well, you can check search about him maybe after this webinar. He's one of the top voice on LinkedIn. And what is he doing? He said he's just there to inspire people. And it's having like 151,000 followers. Imagine somebody that has not yet that just graduated now in high school. So it means that there is something that is unique about you that this world is waiting for. Are we getting it? There is something that is unique about you, and you have to brand it, because there are some people that are meant to benefit from those values. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So now look at Dangote now. When you are talking, if we are saying anything about renewable energy now, you can't but talk about Elon Musk, because that is his vision. That is the problem that God has positioned him to solve in the world. Look at Dangote. In your house now, in my house now, we have his product everywhere. Look at macaroni. If you want somebody that will make you laugh and all of that, go to his page. Because that is his own focus. That is his purpose. Are we following? So let's move further. So now, what is a brand? So now we have two definitions here. One by Martin Numia and Jeff Bezos. So the first definition here is: a brand is person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization. So now, what does it mean to what is the meaning of gut feeling? It's an emotional connection that you have with people around you, connection that you have with your followers, such that whenever they think of something, you are the one that they think about. And the other definition says your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So now, say for instance, it's just three of us that we are in this room now. It is none of us that we are in this room now. In one way or the other, say for instance, we are from this family. So now it means that member of that family should be able to talk about you and discuss about you to another person. Your ability they should be able to talk about your strength, your ability, your character. That is what it's all about. Then it is also important to know how to shape this kind of perception that people have about us. So that is the definition of brand. Then for the sake of this webinar, because we are focused on personal branding, so now it's not about business branding, it's about what? Personal branding. So now the definition for personal branding in the context of tonight's webinar is: personal branding is the practice of individuals marketing themselves and their careers as a brand. So now you are taking your career, you are taking your person as a business. You are taking yourself as a brand. Are we following, please? So now it is important, because it is the way you present yourself, that is the way you are going to be addressed. It is the way you present yourself, that is the way you are going to be priced. And it's essentially the ongoing process of establishing a prescribed image or impression in the mind of others about an individual, group, or organization. So now there is an opinion that people will form about you. Either you like it or not, either I like it or not. When I appear in a place, some people will perceive me to be somebody. Probably when I get there, I just put on a smiley face. Even without saying anything, they might say, okay, oh, this guy is jovial. He's going to be friendly. You understand? They are already forming an opinion about you, even without you saying anything. Meaning that if you don't define your brand, people will define it for you. People will paint you to be who you are not. Let's move further. So now, we must also know that everybody has a personal brand, including you. Every one of us here, we are a brand. If you search on Google now, you can type your name on Google. Just if you think that you don't have a brand, you can type your name on Google and see the result that is going to bring. And it is in fact in this century that we are in, even if an employer is going to recruit you, they will first check your online presence. They will check your digital footprints. That is to tell you that your online presence, your personal brand is very, very important. And you must guard it jealously. Let's move further. So now, we have four boxes here, and we have four kind of headings on each of them. And we have action, we have values, we have beliefs, and we have abilities. All these four things that you are looking at here, they are what forms your brand. These are what define you. These are what makes people to think of you the way they think you are. Not the way you remember that definition. What people think about you when you are not in the room. So now, accumulation, when you subtotal of all of these things, if you are subtotal of all of these things, that is what will make people to define your personality, to define your brand. The action you take, either the one that you just took now, you are just taking now, or the one you have took in the time past, either positive or negative. So now, what have you done in the past that could affect your brand positively or negatively? What is it that thing that you have posted online that can affect your next opportunity? So now those actions, our actions and reactions, our behaviors, our attitude with other people actually forms our brand. Then we have value. What is it that is important to you? What guides what you do daily? And if you see in the business world that we are in, every company have their value. They have core value. That is what guide them in delivering their value, their promises to their clients. It does not matter your background. It does not matter your cultural, your belief. So if, in fact, when you are being employed into a company, all those your personal and the ideology, forget about them. What they want, what they are presenting to you is their own core value. Because not a personal in business. You are in a business to move the business forward, to help the business actualize their purpose and their mission and their goal. So that is why you are there. And that is why those values, they are not just there alone. They are there to guide their day-to-day activities such that they can be able to achieve their goal and deliver on their promises to their clients. The same way you as a person, me as a person, we must have value that guides the way we live our life daily. Because at the end of the day, that is what is going to form the kind of opinion that people will have about us. Oh, that one is not serious. Oh, that one, just give him this, is going to fuck up. Those are the things, and they are very, very crucial. Then belief also. So now, and you know that last week, the webinar we held last week, the instructor was able to mention beliefs, and she was trying to tell us that we have two things. She said we have positive belief system and negative belief system. Are you the kind of person that think that, oh, I cannot do, it's not possible, that mountain is too difficult for me to conquer? I just want us to erase those kind of beliefs, because that is the place of learning. That is the place of growth. Those things that you think they are not possible, they are possible. It's just for you to have the right mindset. It's just for you to know the right people to walk up to, that will help you, that will shed more light on that particular subject, that particular thing that you think is difficult. So now your belief system is important to your personal brand. Are you the one that we always say, what are they talking about? This one, we just talk nonsense. It does not have anything to say. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to pass across here. Then your abilities to what you can do, what you are good at. All these things now, they are what forms you, your personality. They are what forms who you are as a person. And they are the things that will attract people to you in this world that we live in. Let's move further. So now there are three things your brand tells your audience. Three things, just three things. That when you appear before people now, three things that people want to know about you. So now it tells people who you are. What are your values? What are your strengths? What are your belief system? What we just mentioned now. Those are the things that form who you are. Who you are. Your belief system, your strengths, your passion. What are you passionate about? It's important. Can we all hear me? Are we still following? If you can hear me, let me ask us, what are you passionate about? Just two people. Who are you? How would you define yourself? Who are you? If I ask you two people now, that who are you? What answer will you give me? Just two people. One person should go, please. Who are you?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Who are you, please?
Okay, I'm a godly relationship advocate.
Okay. So that's your purpose, right?
Yes, sir.
So, see, somebody said I'm a child of God. Everybody, every one of us, we are God's children. And we like it or not. So that you are a child of God is not the case. There is still a purpose why God has created you here. That's what you should know. So now your strength, when we are talking about who you are, we are talking about your strength, what you are passionate about, what keeps you out.
I think we just lost him. Probably it's due to network. He should be back in a few seconds. Sorry about the break in transmission. I believe we can hear me.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So I don't know, it's like his network is currently down. So he will soon join us back now. Let's give him some seconds. So hope we are learning something already. I hope we are gaining one or two things. So he will be back in a few seconds.
Was I trying to? Okay. So now I was saying that I'm very apologies, please, everybody. I had a little challenge with my internet. That was the reason. So now there are three things your brand tells your audience: who you are, that is your strength, what you are passionate about, your core value. Meaning that if I do business with you, if I engage you on this kind of on this project, is our value going to align at the end of the day? What's the probability that you will not do me at the end of the day? So now, what you do as a person, what do you do? What are you good at? What is your expertise? Then what differentiates you from others? This is very important. Because in the world that we live in today, there are a lot of people doing different stuff in the same market. So now, let's take, for instance, now looking at the company, the big brands around us. If you look at Apple, and you also look at Microsoft, you should know that they are both manufacturers of computers. Then what is it that why is Apple also interested in manufacturing computers? Why is Microsoft interested in manufacturing computers? Both of them, they have the same product. They are producing the same computers, but their target market and the value they deliver are different. Their purpose are different. It's because if you look at Apple, it's not everybody that can afford Apple's product, but barely everybody can afford Microsoft's product, and that is it. Meaning that before Apple could come to that conclusion that okay, this is the particular set of people that I want to serve, they must have researched on those set of people very well. They must have seen that the value of those people aligns with their own value. And that is why those sets of people are able to connect with Apple's value and their products. Because at the end of it, it's about the value that we are bringing to the table as a person. And that is why when you apply for a job and they go through your resume and they see the information that you have on your resume and they know this is not a fit for us. You understand? So now that is why it's important, and we have to be deliberate about this thing. We have to be deliberate about these things. So now, why is it important? Why do you need to build a personal brand? Why is your best personal brand important? The first one is that it increases any potential. And the best example is what I just gave us now regarding Microsoft and and Apple. If you are going to buy an Apple phone or maybe an Apple computer today, it's more expensive. So now because of that positioning, they position themselves as a premium brand. And Microsoft position itself as a brand that is affordable to everybody. So meaning that anybody can afford their product. But Apple says no. Everybody is not my target audience. I know the set of people that I'm offering these values to. And that is why they charge more for their product. So now you as a person, me as a person, if I can actually brand myself very well, develop the right capacity, be deliberate about my branded process. I can also charge premium for the same value. You and I will agree with me that there are a lot of programmers out there. In fact, there are programmers that are not even good as you are. But the way they present themselves gives them more value, make them more valuable when they are applying for jobs. So now it makes you to earn more because you are always pushing something out there. People see you as authority in your field. So now it's easier for you to charge premium. Unlike somebody that is just there, he knows all these things, but nobody knows him. So now somebody that is there that knows he has the everything, but is there talking about that particular is there talking about that field, is there providing solution to people, is there providing consulting to those set of people, you know, when people now think about, oh, this guy is very good in this area, let's call him for this, let's call him for that. And that is why it improves your potential earning as an individual. Then it also helps in our leadership capacity. So now when you build your professional personal brand very well, it helps you to assume leadership role. In fact, roles that you are not even qualified for. I have some friends of mine now. If you know where they are today, based on what they do, based on their definition they have about themselves, based on how they position themselves out there. Brands are always have that. Come and speak on this in our event. Come and do this. Come and do that. Because of what? Because of the way they position themselves online, and because of the value they are giving to their audience. Look at that guy, Emmanuel Unduka, and then Salem King. Look at Mr. Macaroni that we talked about. If you see those people, you see brands running after these people because they know that there are some people that trust this set of people. So now, and the brand also want to reach those particular set of people. So now it's easier for them to engage Mr. Macaroni. So now anything we give to you to rent to offer to those people because they trust you, because of the kind of perception they've had about you over time. You know, it's easier for those people to absorb anything that Mr. Macaroni sell to those people. It gives for greater recognition, enhanced prestige, and top of mind status, which is very important. Say, for instance, somebody need somebody to help him or her to develop maybe a CV, to come up with a CV. And for instance, you have positioned yourself as the best person that can write the best CV in the world. What will happen? Those are the people, you are the one that people that they are going to recommend. So that it makes you to be recognizable, to be feasible, not just in tonight to people, to the world around you, but to the whole world at large. Let's move forward. So now, how is your brand used? Our time has really gone. Okay, so now, how is our personal brand used? So now we are saying that it's used to introduce ourselves verbally, visually, and in writing. And we cite an example of Mr. Macaroni. Then it's also used to demonstrate to others your belief, your value, and abilities. That is why you need to brand yourself. That is what your personal brand is used for. Then to develop an aura about what you do and how you do it. How you do what you do is not about how you do it, but how you do it. How you do it better than others. And that is what will differentiate you. That is what gives you an edge over another person. Then to create and clarify people's perception about you. So it's used to create and clarify people's perception so that they don't take you for who you are not. Let's move forward. So now, creating your brand. So now, we now want to move to how do you create your brand? If you have been thinking of how you want to, what are we even saying in all this? How did Mr. Macaroni did his own? How did he do his own? How are people? How is he commanding that kind of authority in the skits industry? So now, the first thing tonight, know the why. That is why you exist. It's very important. If you don't know, if you cannot find answers to why you exist, then there is nothing that you are branding. So now, when you know why you exist, you know you exist to serve some particular set of people. You know that you exist to offer value, to deliver solution to some set of people. Then you can now brand that kind of personality. I hope you are following. So now, why do you do some question you want to ask yourself in this kind of stage is that why do you do what you do? Why are you doing it? That is the question. So now in your field, now in your career, why did you pursue that career in the first place? Why do you venture into UI UX? Why are you pursuing digital marketing? Why? What's it that you want to achieve there? Because if you are doing it because other people are doing it, I'm telling you the truth, you cannot be an authority in that particular field. You cannot be a force to be reckoned with in that niche. And that is why it's important. You must know the reason why you exist. And it's that reason why you exist is what will now make some people that also believe in the solution that you are offering to get connected to you. Because they see you as an authority in that niche. They see you as an author, as somebody that can solve that particular problem that you have discovered that, oh, this is what I'm called to do. Then also, why do you do it the way you do it? That's also important. Why do you do it the way you do it? Why do you add more extra professionalism? Why do you add a touch of excellence to what you are doing? Because at the end, that is what is going to differentiate you. You know, we have a lot of bakers out there. We have a lot of Barbie saloon out there. But there are some that they charge. If you hear the amount they charge for a head cut, you will say that, is it not this same work that we are doing? Why? Some people they've built house. They've done a lot of things with that profession. It's because of that, the way they do it. The kind of expertise they bring into table, the kind of extra mile they go in order to deliver such value to their audience. Then why do you get up in the morning in doing what you do? So now all these things are what constitutes to knowing who you are, why you are doing what you are doing. Let's move further. Then after you have now known why you are doing what you are doing, then you have to own that difference. Because it means that you are now different from another person. Because the way I'm going to approach a particular problem will be different from the way other people is going to approach it. For instance, we start an example of Apple and Microsoft. The way Apple is approaching their own solution is different from the way Microsoft is approaching theirs. Because their proposition is different. The value they bring to the table is different. The extra mile they go in order to deliver such value is different. So that an Apple has owned it. Microsoft also owns their own. There are a lot of public speakers out there. But when some people mount on stage like this, you go, oh God, where did this guy come from? I'm not sure this guy is from this planet Earth. I don't know if we have seen that, we have been that kind of situation before, where somebody is just speaking and you're like, how is this person, how is this person, where is he fetching this kind of information? So now the question you want to ask yourself at this stage is that, what is my unique selling proposition? Why am I different from another person? Can you see this picture now? He's different from another person. Why every other people is doing this thing, is doing the same thing, the same way? He said, no, I'm different. I'm different from another person. My value is different. My belief system is different. And that is what differentiates him. Why should I choose you over the other person? So that is it. What do you offer differently? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. So now once you are able to find answers to this question, then you own it. You stay consistent at it. Because once you drop on this thing, people will run away from you. Imagine Apple maybe they don't deliver the way they are delivering value. Maybe tomorrow now. What will happen? People will leave them. That is the truth. They will not follow them anymore. They will not trust their product anymore. And that is it. So now you want people to keep trusting you. You want people to still believe in what you are doing. Then you need to keep at the value you are offering your people. You must stick with it. Let's move further. Then the third point is that you must know your audience. So now you've known yourself, you've known who you are, you have been able to divine who you are. Then you have also been able to divine your differentiation, what differentiates you from other people. You are a graphic designer. That is who you are, right? So now, what is it that is different from your own expertise? Is it your creative mind? Is it the way you bring, is this the process the approach you take in solving a particular graphic issues? That could be your own differentiation. Then now, who are the people that you want to serve that you think that, okay, this kind of solution that I'm bringing to the table, who are the people that are mostly going to appreciate it? Who are you trying to influence? Who are the people that will benefit most from your expertise or solutions? So those are the people that you need to focus on, because it's not everybody. Everybody cannot be your client. Everybody cannot be your target audience. That's the truth. You cannot target everybody and saying that you are going to make any impact. No. So now, because when you know the problem that a particular target group is facing, then it's easier for you to provide adequate, accurate solution to them for them. So now, who are the people that will feel your impact most? These are the questions you want to ask. So now maybe you are into one, maybe you are a baker, you are a UI UX designer. The question you want to ask yourself: which company do I want to work? Which company do you want to? Is it in the big four, KPMG, Deloitte, and all of that? Is that where you want to play your game? It means if that is where you want to play your game, you have to research about them. What are the value that I must possess to be able to work in Deloitte? How do I need to position myself for me to be able to work in Deloitte? Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. Let's move further. So now, then what is your brand message? And I must tell us, like that, my Emmanuel Maduka that we talked about when we started this webinar. If you go and if you check that guy, if you check his online presence, especially on LinkedIn, you will understand better about this brand message, because it's difficult for you to communicate to people that you don't understand. You don't understand their pain points, right? So now, if you want to communicate, if you want to be friend with me, it means that you must understand the message that I want, that will get me connected to you. The way you connect, for instance, your audience, maybe you are targeting maybe 2 year, maybe 2 year, your demography of your target audience are maybe from 2-year-old to maybe 10 years old. The same way you are going to communicate to them is different from the way you are going to communicate to people in their maybe 20s, 30s. The grammar you are going to use will be different. Are we following? Then what are the things that constitute your brand message? Your audience and your positioning statement facilitates your brand messaging. Because before you start sending message out there, you must know your audience. That is important. Before you ask, okay, how do I communicate with these people? Then how do you want to be remembered by them? Those are the things you need to focus on. This message should communicate your brand value, your benefits, and the solution to customer pain points, right? So now you want to attract people. Maybe you are a UI UX designer. You want to attract maybe Kuda Bank. You want to work in their company. You can just say, okay, let me go and be talking about, let me go and be developing, writing content on UI UX in fintech industry. Meaning that you want to attract companies in that space, right? So now at the end of the day, you see that your value, you are aligning your value, because your value, the value that a fintech company that guides what they do is different from the one that guides what a consulting firm, that guides what guides a consulting firm. It's different, it's different thing. Because if you are working for a fintech company, you must be able to, accountability is important to them, right? So those are the things that you want to hold jealously. When you are sending message out there, you must be able to divine this thing. Let's move further. So now, what channels? So now you have been able to divine who you are, your unique selling point, your differentiation, what makes you different from other people. Then you have also been able to determine your audience. Then you have also been able to craft your message. I think what kind of message do I want to be sending to these people that will make them get connected to me? And we said that your messaging must reflect your value, your brand value. It must reflect the benefit that they are going to get from you. Then what channel? How do you reach out to this set of people? So it's important you know where these people live, where they are. I set an example of KPMG. You cannot be looking for KPMG on Instagram. They will not. It's the only place that you will see them, that you will be able to talk to them directly, is on LinkedIn. So it's important that you know where your audience are. You are an entrepreneur. You want to know the channel that your audience are. You know, if you are targeting young people now, you know TikTok is one of their best channels. You see them on TikTok. So now if you are somebody that you are a public speaker now, you want to go on LinkedIn. Maybe you are a public speaker and your target audience are graduates. You go on LinkedIn. That is where your content, your message will be valuable. You cannot go on Facebook and be sending the same content there. It will not give you the result that you want. So it's important that you understand the channels where your audience are. So now your brand statement, it's also the same thing as your brand promise. So now it's a short pitch that communicates your value to your audience and your promise. So now, what is your value? What you are best at? Then your audience, whom you serve, your customers, your promise, how to perform your value, how you perform your value uniquely, your unique selling point, what makes you different from other people. So now, if you look at that definition very well, it is just an excerpt from that definition. So now, it's 1 to 2 sentences. It shouldn't be more than that. We are going to see example of brand statements very soon. So now, also, your value, the value you are offering them to the audience, and the USP, your unique selling point, what makes you different from other people, why they must choose you over another person. And it must also be what? It must be memorable and must be on point. So now let's look at this person, this brand statement. This is not a brand statement, but this is just the profile of the person. This person said his skill, his abilities, his strengths are talent acquisition specialist, recruiting, and human resources. So now these are the skill set of this particular person. Let's check our brand statement. Can you see? He said, one of my first memories in school is going to a parent-teacher conference in kindergarten and having my teacher tell my... So now let me just summarize this thing. So now, this person is able to... He said he's a recruiter, right? And what is he doing? What is his focus? He said, throughout my life, I've developed this... Okay, no matter... This is definitely one of the most talkative, right? Right from his primary school. No matter where I move in class, she communicates with everyone throughout my life. So now look at the way he bring the discovery about his teacher to his personality, to his professional career. He said, throughout my life, I have developed this art of being able to communicate with anyone at any given time. No, you must understand that it's not everybody that can communicate with everyone at any given time. That is unique about her. That is her unique selling point. From joining the debate team in college, to studying internal and external communication, to working in different careers that allow me to utilize this skill in different ways. I've learned that effective communication is at the core of any successful leader and business. Look at the importance of communication. Then he said, I have developed a passion for not only being a voice of those that cannot communicate for themselves, but also to teaching people to communicate effectively. You understand? There are some people looking for a job today. They don't know how to present their CV. These are the people that this lady is targeting. You want them to communicate their value very well so that it can attract the kind of dividends that they should attract. This is who she is. So now let's see what stood out for her. So now what stood out is, he said, communication. That is who she is. She's a communicator. Just bring anything communication to me. I will help you out. So you cannot craft your CV very well. Bring it to me, I will help you. Right? And she explained how it has shown up throughout her life. Right from kindergarten, she has been communicating. And she's able to find that strength, develop that strength, and deliver value based on that strength. And she's earning from it. She has even turned it to a business. So now, instead of using overworked phrases like proven track record of communicating, she gives example that prove it, debate team. So now, where communication is applicable, right? So now, let's go to the last one. He said, I highlight a problem she solves for candidates. The same way you highlight the benefits when you are coming up with your own brand statement, the benefits that people will get from you when they choose to work with you, helping them communicate their value to hiring managers through their CV, through how to present themselves during an interview, and all of that. Can you see how that revolves around what the person do? Let's move further. Look at this guy too, Emmanuel Maduka. He said, I'm here to inspire, not impress. She's an entrepreneur. She's an Elumelu boy. If you go on LinkedIn, if you're asking Elumelu boy in Nigeria today, there's this guy that anybody anywhere will tell you is this guy. Gen Z speaker. brand influencers. These are our skills. These are his skill sets. These are what he does. Then look at his position yesterday. He said, I believe young people have the capacity to do exploits. This is his belief system. It's not everybody that believes this. He said, create impact and accomplish daring tasks, no matter their age or background. That is why I do what I do. See the reason behind what he does, what he's doing. So now, if you don't have a reason why you are doing what you are doing, there is nothing to brand. You will not be unique. And this is what brings his uniqueness to this guy. So now, if you see this thing and you say, oh, I fall in the category of the people that does not believe that maybe my belief system is that it's difficult to do exploit. So now this guy is telling you that it's possible. By following me, I will let you know that it's easy. It's possible for you to do exploit. It does not matter your age. This guy, he has been seeing himself as Tony Elumelu, and he has been working towards it. In fact, last year he was 2 years ago. Tony Elumelu invited him because of his positioning statement, because of where he's seen himself and the kind of problem he's solving. He said that is why I do what I do, to inspire young professionals to greatness, and he's also doing it. Let's move further. So the third profile that we are going to check now is event planner. This person is an event planner, program coordinator, project manager. So now look at his brand message. He said, master organizer with an eye for detail. That is our unique selling point. An eye for detail. So now while we are going through this now, you must start thinking, what is it? How can I redefine what I'm doing so that people can get connected to me better? Meticulously create and execute special tasks. Can you see that English now? Meticulously create and execute special events. She does not execute any event. It's only special event that she executes, right? You name it, name those special events, and I will plan it with confidence and enthusiasm. Look at this now. So now what stand out? This works because you truly understand that this person is organized. So now if you are somebody that needs somebody that is organized to handle your project work, to coordinate your program, then this is your go-to person, right? She's detail-oriented and bubbly, all at the same time, right? So now you are looking for somebody to solve a problem in that niche that somebody has fucked up before, and you encounter this kind of person, and you read this kind of statement, you will definitely hire this person. You want to give this person the job, right? Let's move further. So now, how do you showcase yourself? Now that you have understand who you are, you understand your differentiation, what is unique about you, you understand your brand messaging, then how do you showcase yourself to the world, right? So now you can showcase yourself through what? That is business name and tagline. So now today, look at this guy. This is Salem King. If you go to his Instagram page, all you are going to see is black and white, right? Then Mr. Macaroni as well. Anywhere you see him, anywhere you talk, maybe in his comedy and all, you always see him saying, "Oh, you are doing well, freaky," right? Those are that you are doing well. It's more like his tagline. That is what he's used to. That is very unique about him. Look at his cap and look at the agbada that he's wearing, right? That is identity. So when you see him anywhere wearing it, you know this is Mr. Macaroni. When you see this Salem King as well, you know this is this guy because it's always on black and white. That is color. So now your brand identity, you can use color, you can use icon, and you can use word to craft an identity for yourself, right? And that you can also the icon means logo. You can use logo. For Mr. Macaroni, look at it. It's his own image. You can use color to define your identity so that when you appear, they know that this is this person. This is Elijah. This is Aketaru. I know he's the one that used to wear this kind of clothes. When you mount on stage, like you want to give speech, this is this guy, because they know you with. And look at our what's the name of this man? Last presidential candidate, Peter Obi. You see anywhere you see this man, he's always on black. You will ask, why is he on black? That is his signature. Then if you look at Tinubu as well, look at that his cap. You see it there. He's everywhere. That is his own identity. So anywhere you see that cap, you know this is Tinubu. Anywhere you see that black, you know this is Peter Obi, right? So now that is the way to showcase yourself. There are more to it anyway. Let's move further. Then after you have, how do you showcase yourself now? Now that you have known the way to showcase yourself, you have chosen color for yourself, you have chosen your tagline, right? So now how? You want to be consistent in your messaging. Probably you've chosen your channel. You know, we talk about channels. Okay, that this is the channel that I want to use for my messaging. So now you have to be consistent at what you are doing because your audience want to hear from you every day. People want to hear from you every day. So now determine who you are as a professional. You must also determine who you are as a professional. Who are you? Are you the kind of person that gives a sense of excellence to what you do? Then your audience should know what exactly you bring to the table. It's not that we seek for partnership with you and you are doing what you are not supposed to be doing, right? These are important. Then know your value. You must know your value. And the way to go about it is what is your worth based on what is your worth based on your experience and your expertise. Based on your experience now, based on your expertise, what is your value? You know, value is an exchange of money. So now the money you are earning today is based on the way you value yourself. So now what is your value? Then you can know this in order not to maybe people not to devalue you in terms of maybe somebody want to employ you to do something stuff like that. You can say, okay, you can reach out to somebody, maybe a professional that's at the same level as you and ask him, how much do you charge in this thing? So that people will not they will not cheat you. It's also important. So then know your niche as well. In fact, it's also important that you niche down. What does it mean? What does it mean to have a niche for yourself? That is where your niche is the area where is the people that you solve, the kind of industry where your solution lies. Right. So now, for instance, now we have design industry. Right. So now you want to become a graphic designer. Say, for instance, graphic design is a niche. Right. So now you want to now niche down. Right. So that you can have influence. You know, okay, I'm not just a graphic designer. All I just do is I just design logo. So now when you want to name two logo designer in Nigeria now, I'm one of them. You should name me. Because every of my development is tailored towards that niche. So that when they are mentioning one or two people in that niche, you will be number one. So it's important to know your niche very well. Right? So now you are somebody that maybe, okay, you are a photographer. Photography is a niche. And you want to niche down. You want to just serve people that maybe, you want to snap maybe children from the age of maybe from 6 months to 2 years, because those are the set of people that are difficult to snap because they will never concentrate. So now maybe that is your own unique selling point. So now anytime when people check on your Instagram page, they say, okay, professional photographer helping children in the age of this bringing telling their story, stuff like that. When parents see something like that, they know, oh, and they see beautiful pictures of that you've taken, they'll be able to connect with you. They'll be able to hire you. They'll be able to see you as an authority in that particular niche. Then select appropriate medium based on your audience, right? You want to now communicate your value. You want to communicate your services to people, who you are. You want to communicate it. So now it's important that you select appropriate medium based on your audience. So now doing everything everywhere will only yield little returns. We have already said this earlier. So now you are a photographer now. You don't want to be on LinkedIn. That's not where you are. That's not where to showcase your product. The best place to showcase your product is on Instagram. Right? So then choose where your audience will feel your impact and connect with you. So now it's important that you also do this so that it will not be a labor loss. Let's move further. So now we also know that social media is the best place now to showcase yourself as a personal brand. Right? And you know that your social resume is equal to your online resume. Before, okay, let's see this statistic. Career builders, 60% of recruiters use social networking sites to research job candidates. You apply for a job today. What happens? They go online, check your digital footprint. What are you saying on your page? What will they see if they check your online presence now? If we check your Facebook, we check your Instagram, what are we going to get from it? What are the information that are going to be open to us? Right? They are looking for information that supports that you qualify for that role. Are you the one that has been abusing top leaders And they check you, and you are also saying that you want to become a leader. So it's important. Take your online presence more serious. So now the channel you want to use, there are a lot of channels depending on your value, right? So now these are the things that are important from creating a Facebook page for yourself. You understand? You know your niche, you know your value, you know what you are bringing to the table. Then how do you showcase all these things? By choosing the Facebook as a channel, right? And what is it that you need to come up with for you to have a standard Facebook page, right? So that when people get there, they are clear about the problem you are solving. They are clear about the value you are bringing to the table when they engage you. So now you have to keep your personal and professional content separately. So now your personal page must be different from your professional content page, right? So now you are somebody, you are a photographer now. You want to have a page for your photography business, and you want to have your own personal page where you dish out content based on your thoughts, right? So now you don't want to confuse people. So now include your cover photo as well. Then include your current employer or a project you are working on. If you are just if you are seeking for a job, these are the things you must include. Then consider a personal versus personal brand page. That is what I just explained. Then provide frequent brand updates. You don't starve your audience. They want to hear from you. They want to hear from you. So don't starve them. After you have come up with a solid Facebook page, right? You want to continue to update your audience. Let them know what they start to get from following you. Don't starve them. Another channel you can also use is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also very important. So now LinkedIn requires your professional headshots. Then you also post your branding statement or tagline within your summary. That is what an example we saw in that of the people that we checked out. Example of Emmanuel Nduka. Right? So add your skills to the top of the page. Join group and post on them regularly. Respond to comment, like or share content. So these are the way to engage with your people, to your audience. These are the way to communicate to them, right? So now the key takeaway, you must ignore, if you ignore your personal branding, ignore your personal branding at your peril. So now you are not doing yourself any good when you ignore personal branding. That is the sincere truth. You are not doing yourself any favor when you don't brand yourself. You are good about this thing and you don't what? You ignore it. You take everything with levity hand. You think that people are not watching you. I'm telling you, people are watching you. People are watching what you are doing. So now the opinion that people now formed about you is what will make them to think, okay, this guy can work with us. Okay, let's try this. Let's give this project to this guy. Right? So now your brand is working 24/7, 24 hours a day. And that is you. And you must ensure that it is communicating what you want. You must be able to direct people's opinion to what you want them to feel about you through the content you push out there, through how you behave, how you relate with people. So now the question is, what have you done for your brand today? That is the question I want to ask everyone. What have you done for your brand today? Does it require that you read every day for you to deliver more value? Have you been able to read today? Does it require you to read an article in order to deliver more value? Does it require you as a photographer? Does it require you to check Pinterest for ideas? Have you done that today? So those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. So now, another key takeaway is, it is what you do that makes you who you are, and how you project that to others that makes you memorable. So now it is what you do every day, what you consistently do that makes you who you are, that people formed as an opinion about you. That's what defines you. And that's how you project that to others. So now that is the same thing that you project to others. And that's what will make you to be memorable. So now when they now think about somebody in what that is very good at something, no, you are the number one that comes to their head. So now for me now, I'm deliberate about what I post on Facebook, on Instagram, because there is a way I want to be perceived, right? So now I'm very deliberate. There are things that I will not post. If you check my Instagram page now, there are things you will not see there. You will just see my brand statement and some things that are related to my purpose. right? Those are the things that you see there. If you check my Instagram, even my Instagram page, my WhatsApp, you see everything there. My color, the way I want to be perceived, they are there. So that is the way we need to also brand ourselves. If it will requires you to go and learn more skills for you to be perceived, for you to be perceived more as somebody that has value, that will always bring value to the table, then you need to do that. That's important as well. So now we have come to the end of the webinar.